Portraits are my absolute favorite thing to draw. I think when you draw them, you may be seeing things that they don't even see about themselves. I was always torn in two directions, towards the medicine and towards the arts. We spend every day looking at the outside of people, and very few people get to see the inside. So while, traditional art students would be drawing figure drawing classes and drawing nude models or sketching outside, we would be in the operating room sketching surgeries or standing side by side with medical illustration students and sketching in gross anatomies. The really fascinating and the really fun part about my job is that it's always different. One day I could be drawing the brain, and the next day I could be drawing orthopedic stuff, really anything medical that you can think of. So this was my way of combining the two things that I was really interested in, what was happening underneath the skin and how we could participate in teaching others about it. One day I was drawing the brain and showing several different expressions of migraines. I had to draw an aura, which was one of the symptoms. What I was reading and understanding was that there was this blurriness to the vision and then this radiating circle of prismatic light. It all sounded very strange to me. I learned something every day, and that was a day I learned a little bit about migraines and then kind of tucked it away in the very back of my brain, not knowing I'd ever need to think about that again. I got my first migraine in college, and at first they just seemed like really bad headaches, but I'd never had a headache that stopped me from going on with my day. They were few and far between, maybe 1 or 2 a year, and then something changed. Suddenly it wasn't twice a year, suddenly it was every month, and then it was every week. When you have a migraine, you're no longer in charge. There is something behind the scenes pulling the strings, and the migraine is now the boss. Are you going to be productive? Are you going to meet that deadline? Not today. It feels as if your head is in a vice, and simultaneously something inside your skull is pushing out. The pain is most intense around my orbits, around my eyes. My jaw gets very tight. Your entire head feels on alert. It feels like there's tiny little men in my skull with hammers. But anatomy-wise, I know that my brain is sending out signals to the rest of my body. One of the strangest moments of my life, I moved my head up and I saw this white, blurry spots in my vision. I kind of closed my eyes for a moment and I opened them back up. And now the spot was a prism. And I remember thinking, am I having a seizure? Am I having a stroke? But I started to think, I think I know why this seems familiar. I think I've drawn this. So I went and started to frantically, search through my books and look on my computer. And I found the picture, and it was exactly what I had drawn so many years before of a migraine aura. It made me realize that this was something that wasn't going to go away. But what that did was it really made me start to think about my own migraines. Migraines are very disruptive to normal day-to-day life. It is very hard to put your full attention on anything. For me as an illustrator, it's very hard to sit and stare at a computer screen for long hours. It is very hard to do complex research. Nothing has my full attention when I have a migraine. The migraine has my full attention. Everything else is number two. They don't just affect you, they affect your family too, because if you're forced to work nights, if you're forced to work weekends to make up for time lost to migraine, you miss out on a lot. You disappoint people and you disappoint yourself. You want to do everything. We all want to be the best we can be, and migraines hold you back. You want to enjoy your life. You want to enjoy all the little moments. Sometimes when you have a migraine, you still have to kind of smile through the pain and you have to get on with it, but it's hard, It's hard to kind of put that smile on sometimes. One of the things about migraines, because you don't see them, is that you never know if you're fully believed. You know, it's very hard to describe migraine pain to somebody who hasn't had one. I manage by being very honest with my family. I never try to keep my migraines hidden. And I'm really lucky that they are very understanding and are always willing to help. When I wake up and I don't have a migraine, it's a good day.